welcome to the Holy Hour Podcast. It's the bi-weekly, but not for a long time now, podcast. And I'm Gavin. I'm joined by Chaz. Hello, good people out there.
Hello, Gavin. You did take some time off after the Cure leaves the country.
Yeah,
so.
You think I'm losing it over here? But
yeah, absolutely. You've been putting in hard work.
Can't wait to just talk about his shoes again and really important shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, this has been another. I've just gone ahead and relabeled all the episodes as Shows of the Lost World. They should be considered episodes, but whatever. I'm not trying to get to episode 300 that fast. So these are all just special edition episodes. Yeah. And this one continues our series of We Were Actually at That Show series. And
absolutely.
So we wrapped up New York City, and we had a wonderful day off at Chaz's house on Friday. So thanks again, Chaz, for letting me bum around with your family and just chill.
We just kind of chilled at the house, and then we went to Top Golf with my oldest son because of a Father's Day gift. And then we went to one of our favorite pizza places, and then we watched Dateline.
Yeah,
and
a little wrestling.
Yeah.
Watch a little,
little wrestling.
WWE, is it?
Yeah, my youngest put on WWE for us to watch.
It was cool. I was into it. I haven't seen that kind of thing in a while. So
we're going. I don't know when this is coming out, but we're going on a couple nights from now in Baltimore, so it should be fun.
Awesome.
They're very excited. We booked our hotel, so
excellent.
Yep. So
back on the road for Chaz.
Yeah, on the road again. Yeah. So, but it was fun. And then we woke up on Saturday all pumped, checking the weather, seeing what's going on with the Phillies game, deciding when we're gonna leave.
Mm-hmm.
We got lunch somewhere, but I don't remember from where. Or we ate leftover pizza. That's what we did.
And we had the added wrinkle. Your wife was going to join us, but at the last second.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she wasn't going to be able to make it. So ticket.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. That was a little stressful for a little bit.
Yeah. Scramble to find some ticket people. A lot of people we knew already had tickets, or just wasn't really physically or geographically possible for so many. But it
reached out to a lot of people, but eventually a friend I thought I had that had tickets didn't. My friend Tim. So I messaged him, and he was ready to go.
And that worked out
great. He was ready to meet us down at the stadium whenever we got there.
Because that was our first kind of wrinkle of non-transferable ticket mess, because leading up to that all through New York, it was pretty much anything goes. It was real easy to buy them, swap them, throw them around, do whatever, overcharge, undercharge, the whole works. But so this was
I think Wells Fargo was the most strict possibly of all the venues when it came to this rule the Cure set up, where you couldn't transfer tickets, you couldn't resell them. It was very, very hard to find seats if you didn't get them. So luckily we did. But
and was that even technically not through Ticketmaster then?
It wasn't through Ticketmaster. It was through Wells Fargo own ticket thing, which is frustrating when it comes to things like this, like concerts.
Yeah.
But
and not also very encouraging when we think of the future of screw Ticketmaster, just let the stadium, or some other options. Well, it's like it's going to be the same shit, whatever.
You got to get. I mean, I think with anything with that, you kind of have to take the good with the bad, and the good is that humans get tickets, and but the bad is that it's very hard to be able to get the tickets if you don't get them off the bat. And it takes coordination and everything, but it worked out. Worked out for us.
Just like the old days. You say be somewhere and people show up and you go in and it all works out.
But we got there. We barely hit any traffic coming down, which was awesome. Which was the biggest concern. But we left about 20 minutes after the Phillies game started, I think. And we got down to the stadium in less than an hour. Parked, over to the venue, and messaged my friend Tim, told him we were there, but we saw a bunch of people in line.
Yeah.
Who did we see?
Nice
We saw Kate.
conversations. Yeah, we got to see Kate again and have a little more casual conversation outside of the meetup bar situation and meet her
Yeah.
husband. That was really nice,
Yep.
Brian, I
Yep.
believe. And yeah, so that was cool. And Tim
Dione
had
was there.
who's that?
Dione was there.
Yeah, yeah. Eventually, we ran into
Dion.
Dion. She
Yeah.
hadn't transformed into Dione quite yet, so the night was young. But we ran into her and Allison inside the
Yeah.
venue. That was cool and sweet. And they got to meet your son, Jonas, who was awesome.
Yeah.
That he was
Yeah.
joining us for this show and would eventually prove to be a huge highlight of the show for me. It was great getting to pal around with your boy there and his first Cure show for sure. But did you say it was his first ever technical show or
First, no, not his first
show?
show. He saw this band Sam I Am with me once. He saw this band The Geeks at a festival. He was on stage with me for that one. That was really cool. That was a good moment. I have a picture of him.
Stage.
Yeah, we were on stage. It's
Nice.
a cute picture. I have him with headphones on, and he's watching this band The Geeks.
Awesome.
They're my friends from North Korea, or South Korea. Jesus. But this was his first big concert.
Yeah.
And he was really excited. He went through my shirts, picked out In Between Days with the green Dayglow face.
Yeah.
And he wore my Disintegration hoodie. Yeah, he was really excited. It was great watching you guys talk and bond. You did a great job with him, Gavin.
I hope I didn't scare him off too bad.
No, it was great because I had to entertain my friend Tim.
Yeah.
And then try to spend time with Jonas at the same time and have but it was.
I just love that, like trying to rechannel that with myself of like that first show where you walk in.
Yep.
Luckily, he'd been to a bunch of sporting events and stuff, so I didn't seem too starstruck by the size of the arena like I was when I was a kid. I'm like, what is this place? But yeah, he was super chill.
Yeah, he's very familiar with Wells Fargo Center. He's been there probably at least 15 times, going from a baby up to where he is now. But I remember taking him to Flyers games when he was sitting on my lap.
Yeah.
So
I was trying to prep him. I was all like, sorry in advance if I start crying and hooting and hollering. he was ready along, for it. But I don't know if he was maybe in the back of his head, this dude's gonna totally lose his shit.
Yeah, well, the thing is, he's seen show Singy Dad before, where Dad is kind of like not his normal, just reserved self.
Yeah, so he was slightly ready for it, huh?
Yeah, he saw that as Sam I Am, and he was like, "Dad, what were you doing?" And I was just like, "I was having a good time, man,
loose, my
just
man.
singing along." Yeah, so
yeah, that was. Rad.
But we got here. Well, who else did we meet outside real quick?
Was his name Alex that you'd seen at the
yes, Alex.
Show? Yeah.
That was awesome because I was just standing there and I looked over and saw this like 6'9" dude with the biggest smile on my face, giant teddy bear. And he's wearing my Cure Betty Boop shirt. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. That's my shirt. And like not realizing it was Alex because I'd met him at the Soft Kill show before.
Yeah.
And I go back to talk to you and I turn and look at him. He's still staring at me with a grin on his face. And I was like, oh my God. So I went over and gave him a big hug. We talked for a couple minutes. He said that he had a great time at the show.
Cool. Yeah, he was super cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I guess two friends of Tim's that met us there at the door.
Yeah. I forget their names.
Yeah. They were nice there. And cool to talk to. So lots of good conversations there. And the shortest merch line once we got in the building, we just went right around the corner.
part of that was everybody thought you were getting in the venue through the bar. Yeah. Because the meetup show was, so everybody was kind of like spaced out before the bar thing opened.
Yeah.
Like all over the place. And then the bar opened a half hour before the venue and everybody fucking flooded in there. And I'm like, I'm not going in there, So, and then there was everybody formed a humongous line and I'm like, yo, let's go down to where the entrance is.
Yeah.
We go down there. There's like 3 people down there.
Yeah, even
And
by the
so
time
we're
it
like,
opened, I think there was only like 20 maybe at the most,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So
So
we got
we
in.
got in really quick. We went right over to the merch table. I think we were like 5th or 6th in line. I got the poster for the show, which was a Rocky
Yeah, should
Boys
talk
Don't
about that
Cry
real
mashup.
quick. So yeah,
Yeah.
we were all kind of like, I hope it's not Rocky themed, and we had some
Well,
joke
my
theories.
original thought was it was going to be the Rocky statue with his
Yeah,
hands up in the air, but it was going to be Robert Smith's face on it, and I was just like, "That's fucking stupid."
yeah,
But the way they did it, the way I forget the artist's name, but the way he did it, yeah, I think it turned out pretty well.
yeah.
It was inverted from where the poster was, where the Washington's stat memorial I think is on the other side of Robert to where Rocky is standing on the poster.
Okay,
And then he had the colors black and orange for the Flyers because they play at Wells Fargo.
nice. Yeah, so it's all
So
kind of laid out like a movie poster too, which is awesome,
yeah.
and has the cast down at the bottoms, the
Hmm.
band and everything. And the initial image they showed too, it said 2003 on it, but when
Yeah.
people got the posters, 2023. So
Yeah.
sorted that
So
out, but that was a
yeah.
good spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it once we
My
saw
son got a
it.
hoodie.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, he
And
got his hoodie, and because he's, I don't know, he loves hoodies, and it's like a security thing for
yeah.
him. So
Good. Yeah.
he,
So that'll be
yeah.
cool. And I guess back to the posters. Kate made a poster too, in the
Yes.
style of Scott's alt poster. She made a wonderful poster you can still check out on her sites there. I think she has
Hmm.
it where you can actually order it too and add it to the poster collection there.
Yeah,
And it is
absolutely.
a beautiful poster, and like she said, it definitely adds a nice female perspective on these posters for once, which
Very
is very
true.
cool because there hasn't been any of that. I think there's been some that are pleasantly neutral, but in the contrast of the Rocky poster, it was definitely a
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
contrast if somebody wasn't feeling the Rocky vibe but wanted to remember the moment. It's kind of like lullaby letter, like the candy striped
Yeah.
legs and stuff over some
Yeah.
nice flowers and in Kate's awesome style. So go check that out. We'll post a
Yeah.
link in there if I can
And
cram all this in.
I will in defense of Rocky,
Uh-huh.
it's not a movie about boxing.
Yeah.
There is boxing in it, but it's not a boxing movie.
Yeah, especially that
It
first
is,
one.
yeah,
If,
yeah.
if
It's
anything, it's
oh
kind of
yeah, it goes off the rails eventually,
yeah,
but that first one,
yeah.
is I think is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And I think it really shows. I think people in Philadelphia really latched onto it because it really, we're a really working class city. We don't have a lot of celebrities. We're dirty, we're gross. We have a bad reputation. We're proud of it.
What?
So
Nah.
yeah, so I think Rocky kind of reflects that, but also a
Yeah.
sensitivity that is there that a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Good point. Yeah.
absolutely adore that movie.
Yeah, it
So
is
yeah,
great. It's, the fact that they can still reference that, after all these years is a
yeah.
touchstone to the city and something that looks cool. So very cool.
Yeah, I'm just
Very
like
cure
the
like.
whole, yeah, not to get like meta on it, but
Yeah.
you have the whole boys don't cry, but then I think the idea of Rocky, especially the part where he comes in, he lays down with Adrian, and he's like, I don't think I can do it, and he becomes totally vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful part of cinematic history. I think everybody should check out because I think a lot of people are turned off with, oh, it's just boxing.
Yeah.
And I
It's
was like, no,
Rambo
it's a
with boxing
man
gloves
dealing with
on.
his,
Yeah.
yeah, with like forced in the situation he never asked for and
Yeah.
trying, realizing he's going to lose, but still going through with it. So,
Yeah. I need to
yeah,
rewatch
but
that. It is good.
yeah, I think it reflects The Cure a little bit more than a lot of people want to give it credit for.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
But
Good point.
yeah, that's my insight to it.
I like that. Very cool. So yeah, we got in the merch line, got our snacks and concessions and beers and
Yep.
all that good stuff. Found our seats. Our seats were kind of the flip side of where we started at MSG Night One, kind of 100 section, but more on the left side instead of the
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But nice, great view. Cool to have a new venue at that point. I was, just as we'd figured out the layout of MSG, here I was at a new arena, and so that worked out pretty cool. So before we sat down, we saw like what 2 Twilight Sad songs maybe, but then Jonas is like, just super buddies with Matt Linehan apparently too. Where is he, like direct messaging him or something? I don't know.
Yeah, he was messaging. Yeah, Matt loves him.
Like, hey, man, cool.
Matt follows Jonas on Instagram, and awesome. He loves seeing him grow up, and Braden also through me. But yeah, he was messaging him and said, "Oh, you're here? I want to see you." And like he's just like, "No, I'm not there, but there's this." And sent him a picture of I guess an inspired piece of like physical artwork.
They did like a backdrop thing, so he didn't do the actual work, but they took like the elements of the little amoeba looking things in his art and put it in like a backdrop so you could take pictures there outside of where they were having the meetup. I guess it was over there by the Shake Shack and stuff, but it was a cool little photo spot. And
it said pictures of you. If you look on either of our Instagrams, it'll be on there.
So that was cool. Like, well, let's go duck out and do that, which I felt bad dodging out of Twilight Sad, but we had seen them quite a few times at that point, so it was good.
It was an important moment. It was like a core moment of the event. But I think the picture came out good. I like the display. It said pictures of you on it, which is a little bit on the nose, but it is what it is.
And I look a little psycho in the one where my arms are all pumped back like I was ready to pounce or something.
You're like, give me my phone.
I don't trust you on my phone. But very cool, and felt like prom a little for a split second, so it was great. Receipts are awesome. Tight fit in there, even though the seats were more comfortable, but it was definitely a little tighter. Good view once the show started. It just kind of rolled out to another amazing performance by the band, which is funny that in all these reviews, it's almost become like a no-brainer that we don't even need to dwell on the fact that the actual band sounded amazing.
Nobody's. I mean, I'm in Merriweather. We heard, I think, somebody in the crowd complain about Philadelphia, not the crowd. Because I heard a couple of complaints about the crowd, but I mean, I think I heard complaints about the crowd at every venue. It's going to happen, but I mean, we'll get into our little situation. But they have blown it out of the water at each place, and I think each person doing the articles are a little surprised. Like, I don't understand why or how. But they're just knocking it out of the park on each one. So they came out to Alone, which just, I mean, everybody was up for the most part, screaming, losing it, vibe into the song. And then they went into Pictures of You, which everybody fucking lost their shit.
Of course. And the Fragile Thing again, which sounded great. And
I think we sat down at that point, but if you watch the audience, the two, like, it's a horseshoe. The two kind of like straightaway right and left sides were standing the entire concert during the songs that they didn't know and during the songs they did know. So
and I promised
our section was seated.
I promised myself to harness it. I'm over it now, but I was definitely antsy, and because I don't know. I always feel like at that level you should be standing up. Not should, but I just always want to. You do whatever the fuck you want. But at the same time, it was just weird because everyone around us would just sit and and it was just like weird moments of when they would stand up. It was like for Love Song, everyone was like, like, well,
we were doing the Catholic thing. We were good.
That's what I was kind of like, up, down.
We're praying to the Cure.
It's like, are we judging the songs by this now? It just turns into a whole other thing. So we just went with it, and hopefully I didn't seem too awkward to take away from the experience for Jonas or anything, where I was just trying to not sit.
I told him, I was like, normally we would stand the whole entire concert, but like, we don't want to, people behind us, because we kept looking behind us and make sure, some people were sitting, and we're like, we don't want to be that asshole.
And if it is a slower song, I get it. We're not gonna be bopping around to, freaking I don't know. But
Yeah, I mean the newer songs, I think it's okay to sit during,
and
take
there was
them
this
in.
huge difference in the disconnect in this crowd. I thought of the new songs where everybody sat down or left to get whatever the fuck or go to the bath. It was just like every new song, everybody was like cool and popped out their phone, or I was just like, wow, okay, it was just like, give it a chance, man. Not that they didn't like them or anything. It just felt like, well, I don't know it, so this is the one where I can kind of disconnect a little, but
in our section especially.
That's what I mean.
But like I said, like the rest of the stadium, I don't know what the upper level was like, but like that top of the shoehorn there, like it seemed like there's a little disconnect.
And that's why I feel like any kind of crowd review, you can't even really say because it's always different wherever the hell you are, and there's always going to be something.
That section, our section, seemed very reminiscent of the section next to us the first night at MSG, where everybody fucking sat. So I don't know what it is.
We were out of it, like, because we were all standing in that section, but we looked over and there was like a whole sitting section too. So yeah, maybe it's just a weird, some kind of mental thing of the exact divide or angle or something. I don't know, but very strange. And I guess with the set list, that was the guy's gripe that we overheard, was that it was technically the same set list as Madison Square Garden with one exception. But I mean, you can't put that on the band at all. I mean, that's you for going to multiple shows, and you know what I mean? If they did that every night of the tour, then we get into, and that's even fine. That's what 90% of bands do. But as Cure fans were all like, we want something different every show, So I mean, it's like this fucking amazing set list. You can't even gripe in the slightest. And
if they came out and played the same set list every single night in a row, those 5 shows we went to, I mean, they ended each set with almost the same 9 songs. I didn't care. I loved it.
Like classic songs that you would be more upset if they weren't playing those somewhere. So
people are fucking idiots. Sorry.
It's just, the expectation. It is that idea of like you give somebody, so much, then they just take it for granted a little bit. I think,
I think so. Yeah.
But our alternates were, we got Kyoto Song again, which was cool. I was happy to see that a little closer. I think it was Kate that told us it's Lily, I believe, one of Simon's daughters. I think it was Lily that's doing the silhouette.
No, really?
Yeah, I don't know
where
cool. She got that from or that info, but seems like a valid thing. And that was pretty rad because I loved it. Yeah, it was like the little Asian fan going and stuff. I don't know. I'm sure they got a proper name, but whatever it is. So very cool backdrop on that song. And A Night Like This, love song. Nothing Is Forever. The phones were definitely a bust. I was even willing to help out on that one, but nobody was doing the phone light thing. Hardly. Yeah. Maybe it was all in the 200s level, but I was like, all right, whatever. I was just blasting the dude in front of me's head with the flashlight. You were.
I think Jonas was like, you got to turn it down. Here. Yeah. Come here, old man.
I was like, is it supposed to be bright? Isn't that the point? Who wants to hold a dim flashlight up? But so then we got Burn, and then the main alternate was that we got Shout Sometimes, where we had 3 Imaginary Boys in Madison Square Garden. So that's fair trade. Cool. Happy to hear Shout Sometimes a few times, and
it knocks the whole set list up a little bit for me. So
good upgrade there then. Cool. Yeah, so that sounded rad. Then we got the cool combo of Push and Play for Today. So lots of singing along to riffs and such. And early of Forest and Shake Dog Shake. And then the 2 finales of the main set, Edge of the Deep Green Sea and End Song, still sounding super powerful with a little distance in there too. It really hits you in the face there. So that was cool. And so we're chugging through that set into Encore 1.
Do you want to stop and talk about what happened during End Song?
Was it End Song? Yeah. Is that where it all kind of started?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's when it started. That's when it fucking started.
As much as you would like. Yeah, we don't need to dwell on it, but
I'm a pretty reserved person. I don't like to yell. I don't like to get I don't like to raise my voice. So we're sitting there, and I knew there was going to be an issue the third song in when we sat down, and the dudes behind us were like two like investment dude bros that apparently don't really go to concerts very often. But anyway,
I was gonna
they
say
were
dumbass meatheads, so that was
yeah
good.
meatheads yeah. So they both sit down, and the one guy's like, "This is the way you enjoy a rock show, by just sitting down and relaxing and taking it in." And I'm like, "All right." So we sit down, and like while we're sitting down, our heads are closer to them,
Mhm.
and like they're speaking, like directly behind my ears, and they're just talking the whole entire concert. And not talking about the Cure, because we had two people in front of us that were talking about the Cure and freaking out, and I can kind of appreciate that and enjoy that
Yeah.
for a certain level, because we do the same thing. But they were talking about sports, about their home life, about work, about everything. And so by the time End Song came along, my son was kept like looking over his shoulder, doing the look back, because
Yeah.
he can't enjoy it. And I try to put my hand up against my ear so I can hear. And then my son tries to say something to me. I can't hear him. And then I just snapped. And I I turned around and I told him to shut the fuck up. And then I can't hear the concert. And then the guy told me to turn around and enjoy the concert. And I told him, I was just like, I can't, because you won't shut the fuck up. And then it just turned into a streaming match. And then he was like, "Why are you standing up at a concert?" And I was like, "You're standing up and we can't see." And I'm like, "It's a fucking concert. You're supposed to stand up."
Yeah.
It's total idiots. So eventually, I turned around and we watched, and they just kept talking.
Yeah.
So the first intermission went by, and the Cure came out and played two new songs, right?
Yeah,
The two,
well, then I Can Never Say Goodbye and It Can Never Be the Same. So technically, two new
yeah,
songs.
yeah.
So,
And I want to say halfway through the new song, the second new song. I'm sorry, terrible with names.
yeah,
I was just like, "This is stupid. Let's stand up." So
yeah,
because we still couldn't hear, so we stood up the entire rest of the concert,
yeah,
through the intermission, or the encore, and when they went off on the stage, and I was just like, "This dude can either stand up. I can't hear him as much
yeah.
if he's standing
It
up."
definitely helps with that. Another perk of
Yeah,
standing. The whole thing is that there's
yeah,
definitely a bigger distance if they're not. Because, yeah, then it turns into like talking in a movie theater if everybody's seated
but
and,
yeah,
you know
that's
what I
what it
mean? And
is,
it's like, dude, shut up. If we're going to act like we're just
and
watching this on TV, then act like
yeah.
it's on
And I
TV.
yelled at them to
So,
go out into the vestibule if they want to catch up, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like,
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
well,
It's like, why would you? It just blows my mind,
it's not a
Like,
club,
even if I just
you
went to
know?
like a mediocre band that I like at a stadium, I wouldn't try to talk to you there and tell you all the
Yeah.
stuff. It's like, let's
Yeah.
do that on the car ride
That's why
up
we
or
hang out
something.
after, before the concert, to
Yeah,
talk about
so
life.
it's crazy.
But,
But
when we stood up, I seemed to, I enjoyed the concert a lot better once we finally just said fuck it and stood up the
yeah,
entire time. Um, but, yeah, it was a little embarrassing, but at the same time, um,
yeah, you had pushed it as far as we could,
yeah,
as far as,
yeah.
so I was just like, all right, at what point do I hit this dude in the head with my beer
Yeah.
and he
Yeah, and
goes
I'm
full
I'm
on
I'm
train
kind of glad that
spotting or something?
Antonio wasn't with us, because I
Yeah,
think it would have escalated a lot more.
yeah.
He's got that New York thing in him,
The New
and
York Philly combo. I was just like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just boy from the
yeah.
South. Let's just talk it
Yeah.
out, boys.
No, let's fucking beat him. Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
ruined the
I
show
don't
for my boy. I'm gonna
Yeah,
kick your
I've never
ass.
been kicked out of a concert before, but that would have
Yeah, I'm
been the
glad that
first one, and
it
then I get
defused
banned from
fairly
the Wells
quick.
Fargo Center.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We're in jail, so we miss Merriweather. It
Yeah,
would have been
yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
But
But
you handled
yeah,
it. You
anyway,
handled it
yeah.
wonderfully, so it was good. It didn't
Thank you.
escalate any
Yeah.
further. So
I felt like I was standing up for all the Cure fans out there that had
yeah.
terrible people sitting by them.
So
So
I think it's a pretty good
it is
chance
what it
those
is.
guys aren't listening to us. So it's
Yeah. Yeah. And if you are, fuck you.
get your
I
own
mean, that's like,
podcast. You should. It's a great
yeah.
outlet for talking nonstop. You should-
Yeah. Yeah. And you can catch up when you're not,
Yeah, you can
recording
talk
about
all
life and
fucking
work.
2 hours
And
in a
yeah.
row if you want.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
in that encore, we did get At Night, which was cool because I feel like all our at nights got a little distracted. I felt like I don't know if it's the kind of song that could get distracted, but in Merriweather in the
I
future
think I
of
only took
this,
that song in at Merriweather.
yeah,
I think I was still too, my blood was still
yeah. I
going
was all
during
like,
it
is
that I
this
was
guy
just
gonna
so
try to
fucking
like
aggravated.
whack one of us in the
Yeah.
back of the head at this point or what? So I was kind of looking
Yeah.
out of the corner of my eye all the way all the time
Oh,
during
Gavin,
that
don't
night.
worry about it, man.
Yeah, yeah, I guess try to watch
I got
out.
Tim too. He's been in
Yeah, he seems
he's
like
been
a
in some
scrapper.
scraps. So yeah. So we're good. We're good,
Yeah,
man. But
yeah,
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 I think I was too aggravated, but it sounded so fucking good.
yeah.
I think hearing it Merriweather kind of kicked it back to Wells Fargo. I was just like, man, you didn't really appreciate this song when it was playing.
Yeah, it's
It's
nice to get
that
another.
bass is so fucking good.
Yeah,
That yeah, yeah,
yeah,
it was really good in hindsight. So
yeah. And then we got our second dose of Plain Song and Disintegration, which was great. We got that
hell
quite a few
fucking yeah.
times. Yeah, we get that like four, I think, in the end. I think four doses, which is pretty good. So,
We got spoiled. I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe I got spoiled. Like my two, I don't know, back to back sandwich songs on that album. They're just my two absolute favorites.
yeah,
And I mean, only the chimes again that are missing. But other than that, I love the way Robert sings this song, where you can actually hear him say what he's saying.
yeah, yeah. Because the recording
So
is so like kind of mumbled and atmospheric, and it's full on vocals for this. So it's great.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm really glad they played that song. It that brought me back into what
yeah,
we were there for, and
exactly.
like, yeah, like cleared my mind
Yeah, something
and
about that
went right into
backdrop
it.
too, just kind of
Yeah.
washes it all away and brings you back.
Uh-huh.
It's very cool. And was that the one I was proud of my peeing abilities on that one? I ran out and as the applause was dying out on
Oh
Disintegration,
yeah,
I
you
went
did, dude.
ducked out, peed, came back for the
Yeah, so
first.
they played Plain Song then Disintegration,
Yeah,
which probably isn't the best song to play while I'm angry. So I'm glad they played Plain Song.
yeah.
So
So,
yeah. But yeah, fucking great. I love that song live. I love how different it is. Again, Plain Song and Disintegration are both completely different from when you hear it on the recording, but still it's very special and still
yeah.
powerful. But yeah, then they ended Disintegration. They walk off the stage again. Gavin is like, "I'm going pee." So then he jumps out from our aisle and runs up, and I'm just standing there still with Jonas, and we're talking and hanging out. And then Gavin comes right back in right when they come back on the stage.
First note of lullaby.
So
I'm back in my seat. I
yeah,
was like,
you
yeah.
timed it perfectly. At least you didn't walk off during your favorite song that you were waiting for
Yeah, I know,
20
right? I
years
had
to
to learn
hear.
from my mistakes. And I was like, if I miss part of Lullaby too, at this point, it's not the end of the world. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I could. But yeah, it worked out great. We were close to restrooms each night, so that was really
Yeah, they were
even
right
though I
around the
didn't have
corner
to do
there.
that most of the
So
time.
he got in and out real quick, and then right in time for Lullaby to start.
Yeah,
Which we essentially got a good chunk of Disintegration in just about each night.
yeah.
Minus
So
one.
very cool.
So
And maybe the highlight of the show for me, as far as songs, was Six Different Ways, a second dose of
fuck.
that. Because I think the first time at MSG, I was a little just like, yay, I finally got to see
Yeah,
it. And then this one, I got to absorb it a little more. And I think they played it better too. I felt like it was a little
yeah, they did.
tighter. And he
I think
was,
they did too. And I leaned over to Jonas and I was like, because I was just like, this song's in the movie It, because he loves that
oh,
movie,
yeah,
and he was just like, oh my god. So like he was really
yeah.
happy that they played it.
Awesome. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
didn't
So.
catch the first night when he says it's that American voice again. This time they shot like red, white, and blue lights right at that moment that kind of
Oh really?
crisscrossed over him. Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm assuming that was intentional, but I don't know. It was
Maybe.
pretty rad because I didn't catch it the other night. So I was like, oh yeah, so
Hmm.
very cool. So yeah, I'll have to go back and rewatch
Yeah.
the footage. I'm
Yeah.
sure somebody.
Speaking of that, I did observe during Shake Dog Shake the last time at Merriweather that those color schemes are like the color schemes of faith pornography.
Yeah, you think that's
So
intentional too?
I
Then,
would,
like it's shaking through
yeah, I
the.
don't know if it was on purpose or not, but like it's kind of obvious when you kind of have like the pictures of the band the same way that the pictures of that destructed churches in On Faith.
Yeah.
Like the kind of like gray, black kind of color
Faded
scheme going on. And of
silhouette
course
going on.
the black and red with pornography, but
Yeah.
it might be totally unintentional, but it
Or
seems like
just
it's a little bit too on the
subconscious
nose.
further cure
Could be
reference. It's
subconscious,
kind of one of those
yeah.
things where it's
So
like anything that adds a little extra cureness. Because, yeah, it's like white and then like kind of gray and then the red for the. So it's totally
yeah, yeah.
the dark
So
era. But shaking it off into the pop.
yeah.
Very
But
cool.
yeah, six different ways goes into which song now?
Then we got the kind of standard outro that we had with the walk sounding real good again.
Yep.
Friday I'm in Love sounded awesome, of course.
Yeah,
And
I Friday in Love might have been my favorite part of the concert because my son and I started bumping butts back and forth.
yeah,
Like we'd swing back and hit it, and like we he was moving a little bit, and he knows that song. So,
awesome.
and I was total in enjoyment mode at that point. So, it was great. So
Cool. Yeah, I
something
think
I'll
he had
always
said it was
remember.
his favorite, at least upon exit. I don't know if he's had time to stew
Yes.
on it and change
Yeah.
his mind, but he
Yeah.
said
I
it
think
was
he
his
said it
favorite.
was his favorite song. So,
Cool. Yeah, I'm dying
makes me
for
love that
Hanson to see
song
it.
even more, even
Yeah,
though we talk shit on it.
totally.
So
I know, right? Just
I
like
don't
every
know. It
year.
might have been I don't know. It's not my favorite song. It might have been my most enjoyable song of each night, just
Yeah, it's just
because
fun,
the
It's
crowd
like
went
it
fucking
really,
nuts. Everybody was cutting loose.
and it is
Yeah,
like just a
Robert seemed like he was having fun.
good fun one before it kind of launches into like the serious pop. Well, I guess
Yeah.
you still got like Close to Me and Why Can't I Hear You, but then like if you put it in between, like in between days and just like Heaven, because
Uh-huh.
those are like poppy ones, but there's a lot of gravity to those,
Melancholy.
and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, where it's just like sentimental value, the lyrical.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit going on with those three finale ones, but
Mm-hmm.
Friday and Love's still just full on fun. It's like say
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
will,
yeah.
you're made of stone if you're just pouting during that song. It's like,
When there, I'm sure there are like that dude
yeah,
that
but I
complained at
think,
Merriweather.
yeah, I'm
I
sure.
don't like the pop stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And then we got another good dose of Close to Me and Why Can't I Be You, where he'd alternate. So in the arenas in
Yep.
particular, he kind of did it still at Merriweather, but at the arenas in
Not as
particular,
much.
he would go
Yeah.
over to the side, like for all of Close to Me was like stage right, and Why Can't I Be You was like all stage left, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd sing into little cameras and get all up into the video for everybody on the screens to hoot and holler. So that sounded
Yeah.
cool.
I will say that you guys got to do better with the screens. They got to be bigger.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
yeah.
that's the stadiums, though, right? I mean, they don't
Is it?
alternate.
I
I
thought it
don't
was
think they
part of their
bring
setup because
those.
each stadium, like each,
Really? Yeah, I
that
don't
would make
know.
sense because the stadiums have their own thing,
Yeah,
but I
because
thought
I
it
think
was
that's
part of
just
their
like their
thing.
not
But
so jumbo screens. Yeah, we didn't mention that with MSG even. It was like your jumbo screen ain't so jumbo. It's pretty. It's just
yeah,
like a
my TV at home is just about that big. Like,
yeah,
what the fuck are you doing?
Target's having a sale. You could get like a bigger screen. It's like what the fuck. There were a lot more of them than I realized. Like as the nights went
Yeah,
on and we got further back, I saw that there were like a whole different one in the other section, and they were kind of scattered
yeah.
around in better places than I thought. But yeah, like the two just bookending the stage are like pretty weak, really. I was like trying to zoom in on those even, and I was like, getting the better picture of the band.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I can see it better back here than up on those screens.
yeah,
Just
so,
like-
so those are pretty
so,
weak.
but yeah,
And then what can ever you? So then in between days, just like Heaven and Boys Don't Cry, we can kind of just lump all three of those masterpieces together, I
yeah,
think. And
yeah.
we kind
Jonas's
of in
favorite
the
part of the
back of
concert.
what's that?
Yeah,
Jonas's.
Jonas's favorite part of the concert.
Yeah, I think.
Just because he knows all those songs from me
Yeah,
playing them around him and in the house, and just like Heaven is Rebecca and I's wedding song, so he knows that
yeah,
one pretty well. So
that's a
yeah,
good fun
but
stuff. Yeah, and I think in the back of our head there was the slight chance but I guess they had just done that at MSG, so it doesn't really make much sense in hindsight. But we're kind of thinking because they were just doing the one Philly date, it might be cool if they tacked a
yeah,
little something
and
extra on the end. But no,
they hadn't been there in 15 years, and Robert said it when he got up on
yeah,
stage. and he admitted to it. He's like, we haven't played here in 15 years.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
It'll be
It's a
15
Grandpa Joe getting out of bed.
Yeah.
I haven't done this in 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's a long stretch for a major city, though. That is crazy. So, so glad that streak has come to an end and they came back. And he said, I believe, like most of these, we will see you again. So, very definitively. So, can't remember exactly on that one now if he said it, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty absolute sounding. So who knows?
I mean,
not that you could put too much stock in that, but
yeah, especially heard it at Merriweather where he's like, "We will be back."
Yeah, it was like not that
Robert
like,
oh my god
has ever declared anything before that hasn't happened, but we'll see. At least in his heart.
But like, I'm believing you, Robert, this time. Exactly. I believe you.
Yeah. It's got to be better than him being doubtful. So right.
Yeah. Mary at this point, it's got to be like, okay, just like the way he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna put the dishes away.
Yeah.
He's like, all right,
100%. So it's very awesome. It's hard to tell when I'm so sorry from being redundant, but with the age gaps thing and how cool it was that Antonio got to bring his family to the first New York show and you got to bring your son to that one, and I'm really looking forward to taking Henson to the finale, but it's just kind of...
And I expect a lot of pictures of you guys and videos.
Sure.
I'm super excited for you guys.
And it's just cool, again, to call out the wide range of people and bringing their kids. We saw numerous things and just, longtime fans and I think the cool thing in all this is that it's a lot of people's first Cure shows, whether it is a kid or just older people that never got to see them, and that's cool because how many second chances do you get a lot of times, with your favorite band, and it's not that often. So we really are all very fortunate that they're not only still kicking and doing this, but on such an awesome level. I think there's a lot of
3 hours and it's just like it's a full concert. I mean, like not even full. They could play half of that. And it'd be a full concert.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like as far as like this is the last whatever. It's like I don't know if they just like stripped it down to 15 songs, I would still really enjoy that, and 10 more years worth of that, I think he could do that.
Yeah, even if they're like, well, we're just gonna go on acoustic tours now. It's like, fuck it, let's do it, buddy.
Exactly. Do what all the other bands do, but starting at 60, that's pretty fucking, or 70 at this point. He could keep it going. It's like, so even if he just did the pop encore opening some festival, that would be enough to milk for at least 5 more years worth. So
absolutely.
So pretty cool, and I'm just loving that people are, and I'm up there with it. I think you still always hold those first shows dear to your heart, but as far as this has been like the best shows, I don't know if it's just been the whole traveling and hanging with you guys and everything too, but they really are fucking stellar performances. Like even if you just boil it down to the band, you might have your favorite members that aren't in them anymore and stuff, but I mean, as far as sounding great, you couldn't really ask for more. So
and I know some people might think it's just because we recently saw them on a high or whatever, but like I'm comparing 2016 to now, and they sound so much fucking better. Like I thought they sounded amazing in
that's what I mean. In 2016, I was saying it's amazing how good they sound. This might be the best they've ever heard them. So I mean, it just keeps going up, which is ridiculous. I don't know how the fuck they're doing it.
I want bootlegs of this tour. I want them to put out a live official, which won't happen, but some kind of live official thing for something of this tour.
Be cool.
Because they sounded so good. I think it should be reserved for posterity sake
somehow.
For one way or another.
Totally.
So,
I guess that kind of wraps it up, I guess. As far as
we walked out of the venue. And we were walking down, and we walked out the wrong exit, so we had to take a longer route. But it worked out for us because we ran into bootleggers, which is one of my favorite things again. And they were selling we walked by him because the guy was like $20 for the shirt, and like I was like, no, I already have that one because I just saw the back of it and it's a Matthew Linehan print, and I was like, I got that one in New York. But then like I saw somebody else, and it's the front of the official tour logo on the front, and on the back is Matthew Lanahan's art.
So
And like I was like, I took the $20 out, and I was like, here, 2x. So they gave it to me, and then Gavin's like, all I got is $10 on me, Mr. Sly,
which was legit, but it was definitely me trying to be a cheap bastard.
I saw you slip 50 under your shoe when you came in. Yeah,
and he's like,
but
Fine.
Gavin got his shirt for $10, and then
you should have asked for 10 back after that. Be like, well,
you should. Yeah. But I had in my wallet was another 10, and I had 100 that Tim had given me for the ticket. But like, I was just like, here's $10. I'll take an extra large for my son.
Yeah.
So we all got the same shirt, and we didn't realize it, I think, until we got to the car.
Yeah.
That the whole back of it is jacked up. And
it's like one of those high lifes,
it.
Where you circle what's wrong with the picture. It's like there's a kite up in the truck.
Yeah. But, like they put the Austin dates on 2 different lines. They didn't put the Merriweather date at all on it.
Yeah.
I think they duplicated 2 dates.
There's like an Atlanta one that has the same date as Tampa. So it's the same.
Yeah. And they changed the font. Yeah, I sent it to Matt, and he was just like, holy shit, they totally took out my font and put something else in. What the fuck? Like, just bootleg it if you're gonna bootleg it.
This looks better. And the best is there's like a weird little square.
I'm wearing it right now. I forgot.
Oh, is that the one? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's what I was joking. I was like, I'm already dreading because I'm gonna accidentally grab that one and then like realize I'm out and like, god damn, I grabbed the bootleg one. But there's like
I'm proud of this thing,
Gavin. There's a little square on the top back that's all faded too. It's just like one little weird square, and
it's so good.
Yeah. So, and some of the blocking is just bad font added too.
Oh, it's terrible
and blurrier, and so another good bootleg experience.
Yeah. It ended the night nicely.
Yeah.
So we got back to my car, hopped in, sat there for a little bit, because I don't like sitting in traffic all that long. It just makes me angry, and I start yelling. So then we were starting to pull out, and then we ran into Dion and Allison again. And while they were walking by us, while we were in the car, and Dion got a set list, and Allison got a cookie from Reeves' wife.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Because I guess they were sitting right next to her. Yeah. So that's awesome.
So those are great scores. Pretty rad for sure.
Yeah.
And you'd seen a couple more t-shirt praises on the way out, which was also cool that we haven't seen throughout the whole evening. It was great where we were, Jonas was seeing his dad being like a celebrity there. Everyone was coming up.
Yeah.
And
he
saying hey.
Embarrassed me when we got home and told my wife. And just like people came up to him and we're like talking to him, and I was just like, no, don't. So, but like, I don't know. I feel very embarrassed. I also feel very honored. And it was very awesome all week. Having people just come up, and some of them were just like, thank you for the shirts, and then just walked away. And some people were like, can I have a picture? And I was like, yeah absolutely, let's do it. So it was rad, just running into Cure fans and talking to them. I tried to get everybody's name, even though I'm terrible with them, and tried to shake their hands, asking how their concert was, because I really do care. Like, I want to know how it was. Like, that's why we do the podcast.
Totally.
I love hearing everybody's, they're pumped up and everything. So, it was awesome.
Was the Betty Boop one the most reoccurring, strangely enough? That, like, have you seen like doubles of ones years people were wearing?
I think I saw it like at least three times. Yeah. Alex was wearing it one time. But the random girl in MSG that walked by us, or not MSG, at Merriweather. I did see it once at MSG. Yeah. Somebody was passing by, but
that and the bluish tie-dye, that was kind of a lot of our crew that had that. Or just people that we know a little better. But I saw that on quite a few throughout the the run of shows there. So just curious.
It was very cool. So, but thank you everyone. I know this isn't going to come out in order from Merriweather, but I think I said thank you on that one too. But it's awesome. I think that's all I say about it.
Yeah, nice way to wrap up the evening and show. Yeah, so it was another stellar performance from the band and great evening. Even those meatheads couldn't ruin it. So I'm glad that your son had an awesome first Cure show, and that was a huge highlight for me. Like I said, just being to witness that and the part of it made it really cool. So very cool.
I showed my son that it's okay just to tell some people to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. And I held my shit together. I didn't sob all over him and cry or get like belligerent drunk or anything. So I don't think.
I got a little emotional, again during just like Heaven, just because of my wife and everything. But plain song. But my son was like, "Did you cry?" And I was like, "Yeah, a little bit, But it was the whole way home. He was very excited about Friday I'm in Love, and like just normalizing some concert behavior with him, because he was like, some of the times I was like just mouthing along and like I didn't know the words. I was like, dude, everybody does that. I was like, at some point in some concert in their life they've done it. I still Cure concerts, my memory's terrible. I don't remember all the words. I mush mouth some of them.
Each show I've been recording just a few audio ones of everything, not even just to use. I've heard all of us. It's been great on a few of them where I'm just like, whoa, I was like way off key on that one. I'm like,
I was like, what was he saying?
Just like, ooh, I'm not gonna put that part in the episode.
He's like, Chaz is making up his own lyrics.
He's got a whole different song. I gotta write that down. It was good.
But I was just like, dude, everybody does that, and I was just like, so that was cool. And just like he said, he had a great time, and it's a highlight of this experience and all part of it. Wish my wife could have enjoyed it with us, but at least my oldest son got there. So
next time around.
The ride home was good.
Nice,
it went
smooth
pretty
sailing.
fast.
Thanks for driving as always. Appreciate it.
No problem. It was a blast. And then we came home. I was pumped up. I don't think I went to sleep until about 2:30 in the morning.
I kind of laid there for a while and then geared up for the big epic next day. So hard to believe that was the next day.
It was awesome.
So that will be where we pick up next time. Actually, we do the full recap of Merriweather afterwards. So the whole show happens, then we do recap. So we'll see and stay tuned, I guess. If there's nothing more you would like to add, well, I guess we'll end it there. And just another.
I don't think so. I hope everyone had a good time, and it feels a little personal because it's like my city, I guess.
So that's awesome.
I don't know. It felt like home. Cool. So it was a little bit more personal, and I'll cherish it always. And hopefully not another 15 years, because they'll be almost 80, right?
75, 80. I guess, it'd be 79, I guess.
Yeah.
Woo. Hopefully not another 15 years.
So.
Excellent. Cool deal. Well, we'll let you guys go, and thank you, Chaz, for recapping and walking down memory lane again already. So it's good to cement all these things and document it, as that was the whole point of all this, I think. So it'll be fun to listen back to this in a few years. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we would have recorded right after or the way down to Merriweather, it would have this would have lasted like 3 hours, because I was so jacked up from it. So
it's good to have breaks too. You'll see on the Merriweather one we're gonna be like, and then.
I think we had so much Taco Bell, and
and then we crash real hard. It's like,
oh my god! No, we didn't crash right away. We were sitting up making jokes for like 15 minutes. Like we were trying to sleep, and then one of us would crack. It was like summer camp.
Totally. Awesome. All right, well, we'll cut that there, and we'll see you in Maryland. So talk hard. Thanks to everybody out there we talked to.
Love you guys.